The entry and exit system is completely changed in Europe. So if you are visiting Europe anytime soon, then this video is definitely for you. So watch this video till the end to gain maximum information out of this video and how you can prepare yourself. I'm going to tell you some very important points, guys, on how you can prepare yourself, especially during transit and other things. So kindly watch this video till the end. Now, unlike other videos, I'm not going to bore you with those common newspaper articles or with online articles and saying this is the new entry and exit system. No. So I'm going to give you with an example which will be easier to understand. Now let's say there is an individual called as Rajesh. He visited Europe, and in Europe, as soon as he gets down from the aeroplane, let's say he visited Paris, he entered Paris, he gives his passport to immigration officer, then immigration officer puts a stamp by checking the passport, then he goes into Paris, he catches a bus or a taxi and goes to the hotel. That is the current existing system. But since October 12th of 2025, there is a new entry and exit system that has been introduced in all of Europe, and few countries are active as of now, and a few countries are already in testing phase and process on enrolling and rolling out basically to all the passengers across the world, irrespective of which passport you hold. Now, first of all, let's say Rajesh individual is going to travel on November 10th of 2025. So he lands in Paris, the same airport. Now, instead of giving the passport to the immigration officer, he has to go to the kiosk. Now, kiosk will be a scanning machine basically, like how our fast track immigration is, similar type of scanning machine. There you have to scan your passport. It will fetch all your details. It will take a photograph of yours, and then also you have to produce all the biometrics of all the fingers, preferably 4:4, but usually everyone takes all the fingerprints for the very first time. And then you will have to answer your simple basic questions like, do you have a return ticket? You have to click on yes, and probably if it asks for uploading your ticket, you have to upload, because for those people whom they went to Europe, my subscribers went to Europe from the last 10 or 15 days, for them this was not asked, but official documentation says they'll ask you some basic questions like, do you have a return ticket, do you have a hotel, what is your, till when is your stay, etc. You just have to enter your details, and this data will be valid for 3 years. Now, if you moved from Paris to Spain, Spain to Switzerland, Switzerland to Norway, Norway to Iceland, Iceland to Amsterdam, no need of any checks, because your data is not required when you're traveling inside the Schengen countries within the 29 countries. So this is the new system, and this has already been rolled out in so and so countries, as you can see on my screen, and so and so countries are in preparation for the next phase of rollout. But as of now, what is happening is, if Rajesh enters on November 10th, he has to go to the kiosk, he has to provide all the details, and a stamp will also be done on the passport till April of 2026, because it is still rolling out system. So updates will happen very slowly across all the countries, and once all the updates have been rolled out to all the countries' airports, then next time, let's say Rajesh entered in May of 2026 to Europe, and that time he has to just go to the kiosk machine, he has to provide his details, and then enter into the airport, and while exiting again he has to scan and exit out, just like we do in Singapore. So there is not going to be any stamps on your passport, and there is not going to be any immigrations officer interference in your immigration. So that is very smooth process. Now the important questions to be answered, address elephant in the room, important questions to be answered is, now if you have a layover and if you're transiting to a different country, I'll give you an example. If you're traveling, you're going from Bangalore to Germany, that is Munich, so your layover is in Paris. So first you go to Bangalore to Paris, you have a 3 hours, so basically let's say 2 hours layover in Paris, and then you have to take a flight and go to Munich. Now 2 hours might not be enough to complete this process, because there is 150 to 180 passengers or even 200 to 300 passengers getting down from the aeroplane, and there might not be so many kiosk machines. So if you are transiting between European countries, please brace yourself to prepare for longer wait times. Now, if your intention is to go to France, Paris, and you go from Bangalore to Paris, that is your final destination, then no problem, because anyway you have reached the country and you may have to wait for a couple of hours to complete all the process. And I'm sure they are not going to have like 10, 15 or even 50 machines, guys. They're going to have in a single digit basically, because they can't install so many machines, and an officer would be there to help you with this process to to basically quickly finish the process off and then clear your immigration. So be prepared. If you have a transit, it's going to be very, very problematic, guys. So if you are in a transit to move to other country in Europe, please keep your transit at least 4 to 6 hours, enough time for you to cross the immigration and board your next flight to next European country. Now this is very, very, very important because this is new entry and exit system, and when you go there, you can't fight with the immigration officers or the airport security saying you have a flight in 2 hours, please let us go. So that is not going to work out. This is a mandatory process for all the passport holders, including Indian passport holders. So you have to adhere to the rules, you have to agree with the immigration officers, and you have to go through the process again. You'll have to go through the kiosk process and the physical stamp process, and then only you'll be allowed to enter your European country. So I hope this process, I have tried to summarize it with an example, guys. If you like this style of explanation, please leave a comment. I'll try to give the same kind of explanation going forward in my videos. So please forward this to your family or friends or colleagues or your schoolmates, college mates, batchmates, whoever may be, whoever are going to Europe. This video is going to be very helpful in terms of planning yourself ahead of time. I hope this video was again very, very helpful. I'll catch you guys in my next video.